understand you guys make cables now. Was I talking to you, Danny? You said that you guys, tell me a little bit about those, because cables is one of the hidden anomalies of the guitar world. Some people think they're worthless, some people think it's all about the cable, so what's your take?
Well, to me, I mean, you know, it's your connection to the amp, you know, so having a good quality cable is a huge part of it, you know, so, you know, the cable does color your sound, is really what it comes down to, and again, it can also alter the response, you know, greatly, depending upon, you know, how bad or good the cable is. Really what it comes down to is, I don't want to get too technical, but capacitance is really what's going on there. And the more capacitance a cable has, what actually happens is it's sort of limiting the amount of high frequencies that are going to reach the amp, you know. And the longer the cable length, the worse it is in a lot of cases. And really what it comes down to is that's the cable's clarity pretty much. So the more capacitance a cable has, the more you're going to notice this loss of sort of, you know, high-end production. And, you know, some people, you know, there's crazy arguments and, you know, everybody has their own thing. And ultimately it comes down to what you can hear. You know, if you don't hear a difference, then, you know, that's fine.
Right.
But, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. My ears are pretty well honed at this point. And there's a big difference between a cable that has a lot of clarity and one that doesn't.
Now these, are the cables available on the site, or are they all custom?
We're just sort of coming out with, putting these into production basically. So, you know, we're still working out the price points and, you know, a couple other things we have to iron out, you know, packaging and whatnot. But
you can win one
basically
with the March giveaway.
Yeah. March giveaway. Tell us about the March giveaway. What do you got?
Creation Audio Labs is giving away a pedal. I think it's autographed by Earl Slick.
Yeah.
I forget. I think it's the Mark IV pedal.
Yeah.
So it's Earl Slick, who's one of our artists, plays our amps, and there'll be a Sommatone instrument cable as well. So you get the pedal and the autographed instrument cable. Cool. I'm not sure if there's anything else being offered this month, but if you go to Creation Audio Labs, you can sign up and win one for yourself.
Excellent. So everyone needs to do that. I don't know if you guys can notice, but right back here we have the Earl Slick, the Slick 18. Before we get into the amps, let's talk about that a little bit. How did you get hooked up with Earl?
It's a really sort of interesting story. Earl Slick frequented a music shop, Black Creek Guitars, that was carrying the amps, and they had just started carrying them and had them in stock. And it was our first amp. It was the Roaring 20 actually, and they were one of our first dealers. And basically he went in and they directed him right to it. They're like, Slick, you're going to love this amp, you got to check it out. And sure enough, he played through it and bought it on the spot. And you know, we sort of just became friendly through that. I contacted him, and you know, he was great. I mean, fantastic guy, fantastic musician. I mean, you know, he's a legend. And just to be working with him is really, it is an honor. But I approached him with doing a signature model, and you know, he loved it. He loved the fact that, you know, we would be willing to, you know, ask him to, you know, be involved in something like that. And that's sort of how the Slick 18 arrived. He primarily wanted something for studio use that he can just, you know, crank in the studio and, you know, just get the sound he's looking for without, you know, being overly powerful. You know, he says he loves playing loud, so it's not quite loud enough for gigs for him, but that's what he has his Roaring 40 amp for. So,
right.
But he uses it. He says it's pretty much his go-to amp, you know, in the studio.
It's a darn good endorsement, if I say so. The go-to amp right there.
Really got to do this, dude.
It seems every new band that we've been endorsing too, their bass players are like, well, we want something too. We want in on it.
Right.
But yeah, we still, you know, I'm not. You know, the whole thing behind this is I'm a guitar player, Danny's a guitar player, so, you know, it's easy for us to voice the guitar amp.
Sure.
But, I mean, I can play bass. I'm a bass player. No. So,
I can play Space Grass by Clutch.
Yeah, I hear that. Anytime there's a bass for repair, that's what I got to hear from being played. But anyway.
So you're working on it,
so
maybe, considering.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get something, you know, probably late 2010, but we'll see if we can get something out, you know, possibly by, you know, maybe this summer or the end of the year. Shoot for that.
Yeah.
Well, everyone have to stay tuned for that, because the Monster Bass Amp comes. We'll be sure to announce it on our site as well for you guys.
Excellent. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we're going to stop the interview portion now. We're going to go check out some amps and see how loud we can turn them out, blast out the neighbors. This is Jimmy, this is Danny from Sommatone. I'm Josh from Frediverse.com, and thanks a lot for listening.